You have $38 million, and 30 seconds ago you were arguing with a self-checkout machine because it wouldn't scan your coupon. Nobody in that store knows. Not the cashier who came to help you, not the guy behind you sighing about the wait. The number lives in a text from your bookkeeper. No exclamation point, just a dollar figure. And you're standing under fluorescent lights holding a bag of rice, mildly annoyed at a machine. This is what real money actually looks like. It's never the way the movies show it. 11 years ago, none of this existed. You were standing in a bank line on a Friday, 9 people deep, because the ATM outside had an out-of-service sign on it for the 3rd month in a row. The guy in front of you muttered, "This thing's never fixed." And something in your head went quiet, then loud. You went home and spent 2 hours learning something most people walk past every day without wondering about. That ATM wasn't the bank's. It belonged to a private operator collecting a $3 fee every time a stranger needed cash, minus a small cut to the location. You bought your first machine for $2,600, placed it in a laundromat with no ATM on a 15% revenue split. First month, 210 transactions. After fees, you netted $312. Your coworker made more than that in 1 weekend of overtime. Nobody congratulated you. You didn't tell anyone, you just sat with that number and felt something that wasn't quite pride and wasn't quite disappointment. Proof the machine worked without you standing next to it. You bought a second machine, then a third. By year 3, you owned 19, clearing a combined $11,000 a month, and you'd started looking at self-storage the same way, not as a renter, but as someone studying who owns the dirt underneath. You bought a 60-unit facility in a town of 4,000 people for $310,000 from a retiring farmer who built it on land he wasn't using. It nets $9,400 a month. People don't shrink their storage needs in a recession. They just keep paying to avoid dealing with the stuff. Then 2 self-service car washes. No employees. Somebody checks the vacuums twice a week. Combined, $14,000 a month, mostly in app payments nobody thinks twice about. None of it is exciting. That's not an accident. Every asset on that list solves a problem that doesn't go away when interest rates move or an app disrupts the market. Nobody's inventing a competitor to a parking lot. Your cousin calls on a Tuesday. Real talent, mobile detailing business, 2 years of grinding. He needs $22,000 for a proper rig. You could send it before the call ends. To your cash flow, that number is 9 days of what the portfolio already throws off. It wouldn't register. You don't send it. Instead, you ask to come by Saturday. You sit at his kitchen table with his bank statements and find he's been pricing jobs 30% under market because he's scared of losing the clients he's got. You find a county microloan program built for exactly this. 3 more Saturdays and he qualifies for $18,000 and puts down the rest himself. He calls the day the trailer arrives, voice cracking, says he couldn't have done it without you. You never tell him what you could have just written a check for. That's not the story that needed to happen. His story needed to be built by him. A check would have made the trailer arrive faster and made nothing else about that moment real. The confirmation text lands on a Thursday morning while you're in a Jiffy Lube waiting room there because your truck, the one with 91,000 miles you paid cash for 7 years ago, was due for an oil change. Q3 verified, 38.4 M across everything. Call when free. A kid 2 seats over has his tablet volume too loud. Somebody's torquing a bolt in the next bay. Nobody in that room knows. You expected this moment to feel different, a seam, a shift, something marking a before and after. There isn't one. There's just motor oil smell and a text from a woman who's done your books for 9 years, confirming a number that's been compounding quietly through 11 years of Tuesday decisions nobody filmed. 11 years ago, you netted $312 from a used ATM and didn't know what to call the feeling. This is the same feeling, same shape, more zeros behind it, which tells you the number was never the point. The machine that runs without you standing there was. Somewhere this week, you'll watch someone spend real money trying to look like they have it, and now you know the thing that took 11 years to learn. The performance of wealth and the actual architecture of it are almost never the same person. If you want to know exactly how someone builds the first piece of that, the real numbers on buying something like a laundromat ATM route, what it actually costs, what breaks, that's what this channel breaks down. Subscribe and I'll show you the real version, no fiction, next.